I hope you're having a great day. Well, today I want to talk about vitamin A. Now, this is not vitamin A that we get through supplements. This is not vitamin A that we get through foods. What I'm talking about vitamin A. I'm talking about the word, a simple word, appreciation. This word appreciation is so powerful. Now, when I talk about beyond medicine, through 2019, you're going to see me focusing on three things: the importance of sleep, the importance of dedication, commitment, and discipline when it comes to your health, when it comes to your disease, when it comes to prevention, when it comes to any aspect of your lifestyle. And the third thing that I'm going to talk about are simple emotions that exist. We can use it. It doesn't cost us a cent. It doesn't cost us a rupee to appreciate someone, and how powerful this one word is when it comes to not just making you feel better, but healing you. Now, when I say healing you, there'll be a lot of people that would like to misquote me and say that, oh, he said appreciation will heal my disease. These are small minds. I'm saying it's a part of your healing. There's no one thing that ever heals a disease. It is multifactorial. There are many things that come together which enables you in healing, which is why we can never take the appreciation that we have healed cancer alone. No, all the patients who we have healed in cancer, it is also their doctors, it's their family support, it's their chemotherapy, it's their drugs, it's the patient's mindset, all of these things that come together to heal someone's disease. Now look around at our world today. Look at the way spirituality is growing. Look at the amount of people who are moving towards meditation, the desperation in people to learn how to meditate, the amount of people who are chanting every day, the amount of people who are going in for retreats and wellness retreats and meditation camps, and everyone's trying to find their peace. What does this tell us? This tells us the current mess that we've all put ourselves in as a society. We have too much of ambition, too much of greed, too much of everything around us that the human body and the mind can no longer take it, which is why we are constantly craving that one night of good sleep that can make us feel peaceful. We're craving, or we feel so good after that one yoga or that one pranayama class or that one meditation. We feel like someone's injected us with a drug. That's how much we're craving something that should be a normal part of our life. We're craving more and more time away from work. Why? Because our environment of work doesn't make us happy anymore, or it's stressful, or it's too competitive that is robbing us of our soul, and we constantly want to find ways to be away from work. So when people figure out that they can work from home or work from different destinations, it makes them happy because they're no longer consumed in their environment of work. Now, when it comes to appreciation, I learned the usage of this as a drug. So I look after a certain family, the royal family in Dubai. And I was treating this particular princess who had cancer, okay? And she had a metastatic cancer that had spread all over her body. And all the doctors across the world, of course, they'd seen the best doctors, wanted to do chemotherapy and radiation and all of that stuff. And when I flew in to see her, she just told me, Luke, I do not want to put my body through any of this. Now, this is a story. When I tell you the story, this doesn't mean that you jump off your chemo or radiation. You still follow the advice of your doctors. This is a story, disclaimer. Okay, so she said, I don't want to do it because if this is coming to my body, either my body heals me or either I die in a natural way. Her family tried to convince her and all of that stuff, and finally we decided, let her do what she wants. And the more and more time I spent, I would fly down every 10 days to see her, sometimes every 3 days to see her. The more time I spent with her, what I realized was she had the best food in the world, she had the best treatment, all of that stuff happening on the side. But the thing that came out was her family grew up with her, her children grew up with her as a closely knit family. As they grew up and finished their education, each of them moved into their own roles in life. Some of them moved out of the country, some of them ran companies and all of that stuff. They got busier with their life. And as much as they loved her, they could not spend that kind of time with her. She was craving family and care. It's not that her family didn't care for her. Whenever she needed them, they would fly down and they stayed with them. So I got in touch with the family, we had a meeting, and I said, can you spend the next couple of months as close as possible with her? All of them left what they were doing and they started living with her. Just like the old times, the way they grew up. They started appreciating her, not that they were not appreciating her, but they spent so much of time. This lady who had like 2 to 3 months left to live if she didn't do treatment, lived on for an entire year with beautiful health. Finally, she didn't die of the cancer, she died of a mild heart attack in Paris, the place where she dreamed and she wanted to die. But till date, the family comes together to understand the importance, and they said we could appreciate our mother for all that she did while we were growing up. We could appreciate our mother. You see, appreciation, okay, humans don't need it. They crave it. All of us crave it. And the people with the prides and the egos and all of that stuff are the people who crave it the most. Now, how do we know this? Go back and look at children. The way we label them as tantrums and all of that stuff, or the children just want attention, ignore them. That's the worst thing that you can do. You need to understand that a child craves for attention because they want appreciation. So they do things to get your attention, because only when they get your attention, you can appreciate that. Forget about children. We have adults who throw tantrums all the time. We have wives and husbands and lovers and boyfriends and girlfriends and colleagues and bosses that constantly throw tantrums. For what? To get attention. Why do they want your attention? Either for appreciation or to get something done. So when we see this, we should not ignore these little symptoms that life throws us. Every human being craves attention. Every human being craves attention because they are craving appreciation. This word called appreciation, we hardly do it. It's become so fake. It's become so non-genuine. You hear people all the time, oh, I love you. In clubs, I love you. Outside clubs, I love you. Pick up the phone, I love you. All of that stuff. That may be great, but there is genuine appreciation, and then there is flattery, and there is fake appreciation. You get what you give. It's as simple as that. If you can learn to start genuinely appreciating people, even if you don't feel appreciated right now, guess what? The universe is going to give that to you back again. And we all know this. The more we give, the more we get. But most of us, we don't want to appreciate. What are the obstacles that stop us from appreciation? The number one is ego, pride, jealousy, and resentment. If we are filled with these negative emotions, we can never appreciate someone else. We have to face it. There will be people who are better than us. There will be people who have better bodies than us. There will be people who are richer and wealthier than us. There will be there will be people whose children are better than us and have got better grades than your children and all of that stuff. These are things to appreciate, not to pull the other person down. And when we look at the sad state of our country, you look at two political parties only pulling one party or the other down. That's the message it is sending to our generation, adults, senior citizens, and our children, that the way to be successful or the way to come to power is by pulling someone down. We need to understand that no matter who's at the top, who we don't like, there is always something that we can appreciate in that particular person. And only if you don't have that ego, you don't have that pride, you don't have that resentment and jealousy, that is the only way you can really start to appreciate other people. So we need to understand that the more that we give, the more we get. We have to understand that abundance. People are so scared. People are so scared that, oh, this person copied my idea. This person's doing the same thing as me. This person is competition. The world is massive. There is abundance, but an attitude of lack. Human beings have this attitude of lack, and they constantly go protecting themselves and not appreciating other people and pulling down someone who's more successful than them, or some woman who's more successful than someone else. They're constantly pulling them down. All they can do is appreciate the good that they do, and believe me, you as a person will begin to grow in your own journey, not just spiritually, in every other aspect of your life. You see, there are two things that human beings do. They start to ration out or deprive people of love, attention, and appreciation when people don't behave that way that they expect them to behave. So if a particular person in a relationship doesn't behave that way, now this relationship doesn't have to be husband and wife, it could be mother and daughter, mother and son, sister and brother, boss and colleague. When we're talking about relationships, we're talking about it holistically. Okay, if someone does something, if I irritate person B and person B doesn't like that, and they start rationing out their love and they start rationing out their appreciation. Okay, you made a mistake at work, and because of that one mistake, your boss can't forgive you, and they start rationing out or threatening you with your promotions and stuff like that. That's not the way for anyone to grow. Okay, there's something called feedback, there's something called punishment, there's something called all of these things, but over and above that, there's something called forgiveness. And only when we can forgive can we really appreciate. Because unfortunately, you know, the only person who loses out when you don't appreciate others is yourself, because it holds you back. I can't tell you how emotional baggage of people holds them back from moving on in their own lives. Everyone around you who's hurt you, everyone around you who's betrayed you, everyone around you who's created a problem in your life, they move on with their lives. But your own emotional baggage holds you down. It holds you down, and it doesn't allow you to appreciate, which is why I say, look at your list of enemies if you have, and find out one thing that you can appreciate in them. You don't have to tell them, but start looking for the good in people. Everyone isn't bad. Everyone is living for a particular reason, and it's our job to find that little goodness in them. Our children do something wrong, they fail a grade, they don't get that grade, and you just make them feel like the most miserable person. Okay, you don't get that promotion, you make yourself feel like the most miserable person, discounting everything else in your life that you're good at. So we human beings, our species is the root cause of ourselves going into depression, creating miserable relationships, creating miserable behaviors, and that's why we want so much more of things that can now bring us peace. Look at California, look at Silicon Valley, people roam around with gurus. Why? What does this tell you? Their lives, not to judge them, they're looking for peace. They're looking for someone who can bring them 3 minutes of peace or 5 minutes of peace, because we've been robbed of that. Our soul and our lives have been robbed of that with our own choices. It's as simple as that. Now, what are the things that we need to do when we are offering appreciation? Number one, be genuine. Be genuine. I can't tell you how fake our society has been. You know, I stand at a party, okay, I'm standing and there are 3 beautiful women behind me, okay, and they're talking. And there's another woman who enters the party hall, okay, and these 3 women are like, oh my God, she's so fat, she's not lost her weight, she still looks pregnant and all of that stuff. The woman gets closer, I'm still standing in between, and they happen to know that woman. And the moment that woman comes up, they're like, oh wow, you look so beautiful, you've lost all your weight. And flattery, it is disgusting. Not just women, men. Okay, I work out of a gym, I sit at a gym, and you see these guys who are all talking about this guy's body who's ripped and jacked, and they're talking about, oh, it's the easy way out. He's on steroids, he's on this, he's on that. And the moment the guy comes closer, hey bro, what's up? They click a selfie, and this is fakeness. We lose ourselves in this kind of behavior. If you have something good to say it. If you don't have something good to say, shut your mouth. It's as simple as that. But when we keep doing this, we're just making our poor little selves feel better by putting someone else down. So appreciation has to be genuine. When you appreciate someone, don't expect something back. It's as simple as that. Appreciate from your heart without expectation, and that's how you enjoy the fruits of appreciation far more than doing with expectations. When you appreciate someone, like I said, the most common thing is I love you, I love you, I love you to everyone in the world. The next time someone tells them they love you, ask them why. What do they love about you? The next time someone says, oh, I appreciate you, what do they appreciate you about? The next time you tell your kid you love them, tell them what you love about them. Tell your parents what you love about them. Tell your wife, your husband, your lovers what you love about them. That's going to make you practice being genuine or not carelessly using words and fake appreciation. And believe me, by you appreciating someone, it can change them in a second. Just by telling someone genuinely that they have a nice smile, or you love their hair, or that they're looking great, or something that they said yesterday made you feel good today. These little things can change the vibrations of trillions of your cells in a second, and it'll make you do more. The more you appreciate someone, the more they will do for you. You appreciate your partner for cooking that awesome dish or baking that pie. You appreciate your guy for working hard and providing for the family. You appreciate anyone, your parents for giving you a good upbringing, even though you may have problems with your parents. Guess what? They only want to do it more and more. That is the beauty of appreciation. But we think technology can take over our life. We think gadgets can take over our life. And that's why we're a miserable population today, running towards things like chanting and meditation, which is good for us. But we should always understand, why are we running towards it? Because we don't have it anymore. We don't have it. And we are responsible for all of those things. Now, before you start appreciating anyone, it's going to be very difficult if you don't appreciate yourself. Like I keep saying, know your self-worth. Do not allow your friends to define your self-worth. Do not allow your partners to define your self-worth. Do not allow your parents to define your self-worth. You are responsible for defining your self-worth. As simple as that. I spent 10 years in a corporate working, and one of the most compelling reasons I wanted to leave a corporate because it was fake. When it comes to people to be promoted, I would see this all around. I'm not talking about my personal story. I would see this all around, and someone who deserves it doesn't get that promotion. And then you have the managers. We all know everyone can't grow to the top position in the company, but then you're stuck. But to make matters worse, you have a manager telling you that you're not good enough, where they should be just telling you the truth, appreciating you, appreciating your loyalty to the company, what you do, but they tell you you're not good enough because they can't grow you. They need to be honest and appreciate you and tell you on your face that, listen, you can't grow this year because this is what it is. This is how the company is. And we have so many people from the corporate who come back depressed because their managers have now defined their self-worth that they are not good enough. The only person who defines their self-worth is you and you alone. It's as simple as that. And when you can start self-appreciating yourself, you may have your negatives. You may have done a lot of bad things in your life. You may have done whatever it is, but there are good things about you, and only until you can appreciate them, that is the only time you will be able to genuinely appreciate other people. The best part about it, appreciation is free. But the irony of the human species, things that are free are underutilized, not utilized, or basically not even looked at. Things like oxygen, things like foods that nature's given us, things like our legs to walk and to move, and things like a bed at night to have a good night of rest. These things are free, but these are the most abused things by human beings. And that is the reason why we are sick. That is the reason why we are getting sicker in mind and in body. Something as simple as appreciation can change not just your life. You have no idea how you are changing someone else's life who needs it at that moment. They're depressed, they're suicidal, they're right down. But one word of appreciation, a gesture, it could be a token of appreciation, it could be a letter, it could be words, it could be you saying something to them, can change all of that in 1 second. That is the power of words. That is the power of appreciation. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep. And this is beyond medication. None of this can ever be as powerful as your chemo, your radiation, your diabetic medication, your pumpkin seeds, your cauliflower, your broccoli. All of that is useless if you don't have your mind and your heart in the right place. Have a great day, everyone.